Rossi Rubino with Mac Barron's Let a Key Rose. This is Preacher Man Piper, Doc Hatfield. I thought I would tell you today about the time I was arrested for selling liquor to a minor. You say, you, the preacher? Well, now let me tell you the whole story. Years ago, I had 7 convenience stores in Wichita Falls, Texas. And in Wichita Falls, Texas, at midnight on Saturday night, you could no longer sell any kind of liquor, any kind of beer, or nothing. You couldn't sell it till 7 o'clock Monday morning. So on Saturday night, I had one store that would literally just get pounded with so many people coming in and trying to buy their beer and their wine and get it before midnight, because once midnight turned around, that was the end of it. You couldn't buy any more till Monday, and they was wanting to get it for the weekend. Well, I had just a big old string. Now let me back up here just a minute. When people would come in and deliver products, especially beer, whenever they took it back into the coolers, they were supposed to put it in a certain place. And I had a beer company that the guy would not put it in a certain place, and he would block up the entire thing, and you couldn't even get around it to use it unless you literally moved it by hand out of the way. And so I called up the company and I said, listen, I want you to send your man back over here and take all your product out of the store. Don't want to sell your product no more. Your man will not put it where he's supposed to put it. I'm not going to put up with it anymore. That's the end of it. Well, later on that evening, a fella came in. He was dressed real nice, had a nice suit on, and at this time, I had so many people in there buying, just buying. Well, I had this one fella come up, and I always ask for identification. He came up. He was about 6'5" or 6'6", probably a basketball player, and he got a 6-pack of beer. Gave me his identification. Went on out. Well, when he went out, I saw him go around, and I could see through a window, and 2 men were looking in his sack. Well, when those people came through and finished buying, because it turned midnight, I had 2 fellas come in there who didn't speak English. And they would go back and they would pick up a bottle of cheap whiskey, bring it back, set it on the counter, and give me a $20 bill. I said, no, can't sell, no, can't sell. And I had been doing that for several weeks. I mean, they'd come in there every Saturday night about 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, and they'd try to do that. And I wouldn't do it. I said, no, can't sell. Well, this particular night, they came in there and did that. And I grabbed the $20 bill. I said, okay, take it and go. Well, whoa, a miracle happened. They spoke in English. Hey, that don't cost $20. I said, it does if you want it. I told you over and over you can't get that after midnight. Well, they wanted their $20 back, and they didn't come back again. But at the same time, this old boy that was standing back there with that suit on, he started to walk up towards me when those two guys and that boy came back in, and they said, "This boy is only 17 years old and you sold him beer." I said, "He gave me an identification that said he was 19 years old." And he said, "Well, it don't make no difference. You sold to a minor, and we're closing you down now. You come go with us." So they took me with them. Well, I got on the phone and called headquarters for that particular convenience store group and told them what happened. They sent their lawyer down there immediately. I wasn't down there an hour, and they sent him down there immediately. And he said, "I'll get you out tonight," but he said, "Monday, you'll get out of this." And I thought, well, how am I going to get out of this? So on Monday, we go to court. He shows the court it wasn't against the law for me to sell. It was against the law for someone underage to buy. So I got out of it. But did you know that that was the fastest law that had ever been changed in the state of Texas? I mean, within 4 months' time, they had that thing changed to where it was against the law to sell. And so there I was, being hauled off to jail. Didn't have to spend no night in jail, but anyway, they got me for selling whenever it wasn't against the law to sell. After 4 months, it was against the law to sell because they run that through all their rigmarole to get that law changed. So that's one of my stories and one of the things that I went through. I went into a restaurant one time and sat at the counter and got me something to eat and got some coffee. And when I got done with the coffee, the girl gave me a ticket and it said paid on it. And I looked at that and I said, paid? She said, "You're the preacher, aren't you?" I said, "Yeah, I'm the preacher. It's free on the house." I said, "Free on the house? I don't live here. Makes no difference." So I went up to the register where you paid, and I said, "What's this?" He said, "Well, you are the preacher, aren't you?" And I said, "Yeah, free on the house." I said, "Well, thank you." And I just walked out. What about a month later, that happened again. And I thought, what's going on around here? And then a couple of weeks later, it happened again. And that time, I said, "You keep calling me the preacher. Who do you think I am?" He said, "Well, you're the preacher with the Hells Angels." I said, "Who told you that?" He said, "Well, those dots on your hand." He said, "That's what they stand for." And I said, "You mean they have dots on their hand?" He said, "Yeah. Yeah. You said you was the preacher." I said, "Well, I am a preacher." I said, "But I'm not their preacher." And he said, "Oh, it's still on the house." I said, "Okay." Well, then I went and contacted some people and asked them. I said, "Is this true?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "If you're with them," said, "you get them dots on your hands." And I said, "Well, for crying out loud, I didn't know that's what was happening." So that was another funny thing that happened with me. Well, I'm gonna get out of here. I just wanted to tell y'all a story. I did that video on the bulletin, and I wanted to just get on here and do this video because I hadn't done one in a while, and I'm enjoying smoking this Latakia roll. I mean, it is really good stuff. So until I see you again, may the good Lord bless you, and I'll talk to you later. Bye bye.